Okay, hello and welcome to the weather update. We got a lot to talk about today with this snowstorm. It's going to be a doozy. We already have the snow moving into the area, as you see here on the radar, which is what we'll start off with here. You can see it started as a couple of really light snow around 7:30, and now it looks like it's getting a little steadier. And you can see here, already there's a line that's just south of Tom's River, but most everybody in our area is in the snow. And we'll just play this along here so you get a chance to see the motion here of it. And you can see here, this is all moving toward us here as the coastal storm starts developing. We'll go ahead and we'll look at the satellite too while we're here. So here's the satellite, and you can see here's the storm gathering strength right here off to the south of us. We can go to the CONUS view also to show you that as well. So here's the storm. You can see this is the upper level system now, and this is the coastal that is forming off the coast right here. Okay, so the latest from the National Weather Service, we're under winter storm warning, obviously, and we're going to go over the briefing that the Weather Service has put together for this storm here. So as of 4 p.m., January 31st, all right, we got the winter storm warnings in effect. They've increased the snowfall totals, all right? The heavy snow, that's going to be in most areas. Western Long Island, New York City, and North and West. Now, the Weather Service is, I think they have 14 to 22 inches. You'll see on my forecast map, it's going to be a little different than that. So here is what we have going. So heavy snow, 14 to 22 inches, Western Long Island, New York City, and 18 to 24 North and West. Snowfall rates of 2 to 4 inches per hour, near blizzard conditions, difficult to impossible travel. All right, and this is much of the tri-state region. Snow develops this evening. Heavy snow daytime Monday. Periods of light to moderate snow Monday night into Tuesday. All right. The heavy snow in the mixed precip, that's 6 to 14 inches. Eastern Long Island, southeastern Connecticut. Heavy snow, difficult travel. And they say snow develops late this eve. Heavy snow Monday morning, early p.m. And then they have the mix to sleet rain. This is the eastern Long Island, far southeastern Connecticut, and periods of light mix possibly Monday night into Tuesday. The coastal impacts: 2 to 3 foot inundation above ground level, moderate to local coastal major coastal flood impacts, areas of dune erosion and localized overwashes. The greatest impacts are on the Long Island South Shore and eastern bays. These times are times of high tide Monday into Monday night. The strong winds 35 to 40 miles an hour, gusting to 55 in the Twin Forks, and 25 to 30, gusting to 40 to 45, NYC, New Jersey Metro, and the rest of the coast. And that could cause scattered down tree limbs and power lines and near blizzard conditions during the daytime on Monday. All right, marine gale to storm conditions. Seas 13 to 18 feet on the ocean, and 6 to 9 feet on the central and eastern Long Island Sound. So impacts heavy snow, entire region. The mixed precip, that's limited to the eastern part of Long Island, southeastern Connecticut. Coastal impacts significant for Long Island to southern Queens. Strong winds, elevated coastal areas into New York City, New Jersey Metro, and coastal waters. Marine significant for the threat for our coastal waters. So not going to be nice anywhere tomorrow. All right, and the travel is definitely going to be advised here. Difficult, forget it, impossible to travel Monday. All right, nearly difficult. All right, so that snow is really going to come down on Monday. And this is the map that the Weather Service released. These totals may be a little bit on the high side, at least in my opinion. You'll see my forecast, but I think they're a little bit on the high side. This is just some of the things that they have. Rain, snow line. The strong wind risk, that's the eastern part of Long Island where there could be gusts up to 56 miles an hour. They have it in Montauk. You can see the strong wind map. Coastal flooding. We have the coastal flood warning in effect. And this is a map of the flooding and inundation areas they show in Queens. So these are the areas that could be inundated. Here's Queens. So around, it looks like, I think this is Broad Channel, that area there. On the south shore of Nassau County, you could see some minor flooding there in certain parts of the South Shore, particularly in part of Long Beach and some of the areas like Island Park, southern Belmore, areas mainly south of Merrick Road. And here we go. Here's another map of the inundation areas. Further east, it could be inundated as well. And you can see just a lot of, there's going to be a lot of coastal flooding with this storm. Because it's going to be a long duration event, and barrier islands particularly look like they'd be getting hit hard too. This is, I'm glad they put these maps up into the briefing, and the link to this briefing will be below, so you can. The next briefing won't be until 6 a.m. tomorrow, Monday. All right, so let's look at the models here, and well, first let's look at the current conditions here. You will see here that the current conditions, we already got the northeast winds. It was a cold day. Highs were only in the mid-20s today. We can look at the high temperatures. We will actually look at them, but going over the current conditions, winds are already picking up. JFK's got a gust up to 22 miles an hour. But you can see temperatures are in the mid-20s across Long Island, significantly, especially this area right here. We got plenty of cold air around. You notice, though, as you go further out east, it's a little warmer, 32 in Montauk. And as you go into the Jersey Shore, it also gets a little warmer. Okay, we have some readings above freezing here. That's going to be a problem, like places like Barnegat, where snow accumulation. These areas here, extreme south of Toms River along the Jersey Shore, may not get much snow at all. But meanwhile, as you go into central Jersey, there'll be a lot more snow. You see where the cold air has kind of set up camp already by looking at this. So let's go look at the high temperature for the day first, and then we'll go ahead and look at the low temperature. So the high temperatures, waiting for them to show up here on the screen. High temperatures, mid-20s across Long Island, pretty much mid-20s. That's all we got. We didn't have any sunshine today. Clouds rolled in. That 40 is definitely an error. And mid-20s in the city, too. And north of the city, even colder. Hudson Valley, they barely got up to 20. Meanwhile, if you look at Jersey, as you go into Jersey, especially south, you'll see those warmer readings as you get toward Toms River and south. They got into the mid-30s. So you can see where it's a little bit of a warmer because that northeast wind is traveling over warmer water to get to them, and therefore that is causing those temperatures to be higher. So we'll now look at the low temperatures, see what the low temperatures were this morning across the area. It looks like West Hampton got down to 10. Surprised it didn't get any colder than that. I think maybe the wind being up kind of inhibited radiation or cooling over there a little bit. And west of Toms River also got cold down to 12 in those usual cold spots. But even in our area, we had some pretty cold temperatures even in Nassau County actually last night. Got down to 18 in Carl Place, but if you go up in the North Shore, like areas like Brookville, 14 was the low. So it gets cold there too sometimes at night as well. So let's go look at the models, and it's all about this storm right here, and that's pretty much what we're going to be talking about here, is this storm. And we're going to change the view to the eastern U.S. view, so you get a closer look at this storm. And this is the GFS, the 18Z run of the GFS, which hasn't really changed much since we've looked at it before. You can see the storm, once it gets offshore, rapidly intensifies. And we see heavy precipitation, snow, heavy snow. You can see the dark blues stretching all the way into, that's why I want to get a little closer here. But just wanted to show you this for the whole view of the storm so you get an idea of what it's doing. But we need to get a closer crop of our area here so you can see what happens here. This low, we get the light snow first to start, and then you can see the dark blues, especially as you get into the afternoon. Dark blues over central Jersey. Meanwhile, just south of this line, it could be pouring rain. So you could literally have a heavy snow, near zero visibility in somewhere like Freehold, and then you go to Toms River and it could be heavy rain. For Long Island, we're more in the snow aspect of it. But you'll see what happens as we get later into the day. GFS is continuing to show this rain-snow line pushing inland across Long Island from east to west. So by the evening, we could have heavy rain over Suffolk County, but it could still be heavy snow over Nassau. There could be a mix. And then as we go into the overnight, it starts mixing a little more with the rain. We get this light rain and light snow showers, even lingering into Tuesday. You can see the low just kind of sits there. It's not in a rush because it gets kind of cut off, and then it finally moves away on Wednesday. But we all have the threat for light precipitation on Tuesday throughout the day. Now, the other thing, of course, is the wind with this. So we're going to look at, I'm going to look at some other models for that. We're using the GFS just to kind of give you, because there are plenty of short-range models to look at, too. But we'll look at the GFS Total Snowfall. And it's really hard to see Long Island. It's got like a couple of pink dots, so it has Long Island in that 6 to 10 inch range. And it has Central Jersey, Hudson Valley, and especially in the mountains of PA, well over a foot, maybe over 2 feet in some isolated areas in the mountains of PA. This area could get hit very hard. This could be the bullseye right there. Somebody is going to see maybe even in the mountains 3 feet of snow, perhaps. So that's a lot of snow. And you can see that sharp gradient in New Jersey there, that sharp cutoff that we have. So I'm going to look at some other models, though. So we're going to go to the NAM and should have we'll start with the 12-kilometer NAM, I guess. This is the 0Z run of the NAM. So let's get this going here. So as you see here, here's the snow. There, so we get the heavy snow. You can see the dark blues start moving in on us Monday, and you can see just to our south it's heavy rain. So again, if you're in Toms River or you may not see much from this. Ocean County, it's like basically from the county line, Ocean and Monmouth southward along the Jersey Shore, it may be raining for a good part of the storm. But north of there, heavy snow, and for us here on Long Island, it looks like a lot of heavy snow throughout Monday there. Heavy snow, and maybe even some thunder snow maybe possible with that. And you will see there is the change over to rain and the mix to rain that does move over Long Island. And as the storm kind of pivots east, you'll see the snow start back up in light snow across Long Island. And that light snow could linger Tuesday as well, but it'll be mainly on the light side. It shouldn't be too heavy. It won't really accumulate that much more. And then it finally moves away Wednesday. So this thing is going to be a long-duration event. And the other thing, of course, is the wind, because when we look at this map, you see how tight these isobars are. That means a lot of wind, because you have that strong Arctic high to the north and then this strong low-pressure system. So in between the two is where the wind is. And you can see here the kind of wind that we're dealing with here. And this high winds really move into the area Monday afternoon. And over the east end in particular, these are sustained winds. So sustained winds around 40 miles an hour, which is pretty significant, and that's going to cause some major coastal flooding. And also along the Jersey Shore, you can see literally it's pointing right into the Jersey Shore, so there could be some major flooding along the Jersey Shore as well. And then this low just dies out and moves away, kind of. But it's going to, like I said, it's going to hang around, and it's not going to be a quick hitter, and that's what makes this storm even worse. If it was moving fast, it wouldn't be so bad, but because it's not moving fast, that's where we're going to see a lot of the snow. So let's go to the total snowfall on the NAM model. And this is, I think this is kind of close to what we're going to see here. So you can see most of Long Island gets close to a foot, so around a foot, except for the east end. The Twin Forks may only see a couple of inches. And then as you get west of Nassau County, into Nassau County, especially into central and northern New Jersey, you're talking well over a foot, maybe 2 feet. So like 15 to 20 inches at least in this area here. And the city, I think, could get hit very hard, too. And then you got that sharp gradient cutoff, literally, that I was talking about, where central Jersey, if you're in Middlesex or Monmouth, you could be at over a foot. But if you go into Ocean County from Toms River on south, you may be dealing with 4 inches or less, or barely anything. So it's going to be a tight gradient there with that. And that's something that also has to be watched. We want to look at a couple of other things in here, such as the F-gen, because this is, again, where the precipitation is generated right here. And you can see that heavy, this area right here is like over New York City and central Jersey and western parts of Long Island. This back here. All right, looking at the F-gen, this is where it shows the heaviest. Like I said, it looks like it's mostly over central Jersey, but it goes into the western part of Long Island and New York City, too. And you can see some more of this, but over here, this would probably be rain. And then you can see the heaviest precip is Monday afternoon into the evening, and then after that it gets lighter. But yeah, you could clearly see the activity there, right there. So, now the other thing we want to look at here is the 850 temp. Where's it says 850 temp, but where's the temperature here? Okay, well, yeah, you could sort of see. This is kind of important here, too. This is the 850 temperature. Okay, so this line right here would be the 850 temperature line between above freezing and freezing, the 850 MB. All right, we're going to look at a bunch of things here in this, all right? And the other thing I want to show you is the wind aloft. So you can see the kind of strong winds aloft. Those winds will be strongest probably, it looks like, late Monday afternoon into early Monday evening. That we'll see those strongest winds aloft that will be developing. So, again, getting back to the surface here, we already looked at the total snowfall on the NAM. So we're going to look now at the HRRR model. And the reason why I waited till now to do this weather update is because we need to look at the HRRR again because I had to wait for the 0Z run to come in. So, again, we got the light snow for Monday, and then it gets, it's early Monday morning, and then once the morning comes, say 8 o'clock, that's when you're going to start to see the heaviest snow move in. It looks like the HRRR brings a heavy snow through, and then doesn't have it quite as heavy, and then it gets it heavy again. But this is something that the HRRR is doing. It's having sleet mixing in Monday afternoon. I don't know if I'm buying this at all. And has the sleet mixing in, and then we get that it just stops. Later Monday, it just stops. So, if we look at this, and we look at the snowfall on this, you could see it doesn't even have a foot for Long Island yet. It's mostly like around 7-8 inches for Long Island, and then a little area of a foot right on the North Shore, and then more of the heavier snow north and west of the city in northern New Jersey and the Hudson Valley and Pennsylvania. And we'll put this all the way out. It's not going to go up any more than that. But that's what this does. This is the HRRR model. I don't know if I agree with this. All right. Now, if we got this, we would dodge the bullet if this happened here. We would dodge the worst of it here on Long Island. We have that heavy snow burst probably in the early afternoon, and then it would change to sleet and then end. All right. And then after that, we're kind of just dealing with the light leftovers of light precipitation Tuesday that could linger around, perhaps. But like I said, I don't know if I'm buying this. It brings the storm much closer to us, and therefore it dry slots us Monday night. And this is, again, the HRRR. And if we look at the NAM, I'm going to go to the 3-kilometer NAM. You don't see that at all, and it has the storm a little further to the south. So I'm not buying that. I don't know why the HRRR is doing that, and I'm not buying that because, again, we have this. I don't know why it's so quick to move that dry slot in. But it's one of those situations where, you could get dry slotted, and we may get a bust or a bust, or there's the possibility that we might not see a foot of snow on Long Island, that we might see more like 7 or 8 inches if that were to happen. But I'm not really keen on that happening. I really don't think that's going to happen. So we're going to go to the temperatures now, and we're going to look at the temperatures too, the surface temperatures here. And let's see, we got the surface temperature, and it's got 850 temperatures too. So, let's go to the 850 temperatures. We'll start looking at the 850 temperatures on the NAM, all right? Because this kind of tells you the 850 temperatures is to where the snow and the rain snow line is, all right? So where it's blue, you're going to have frozen precipitation. And you can see, and as you get into the evening, it actually drops a little more over Long Island. And then as you get later into the evening, like after midnight, you'll see that the eastern part of Long Island, maybe Suffolk County, goes to that mix. But we stay Nassau County, most of Nassau, and the city stay in the blue, which means we're below freezing. All right, and then after that, we're solidly below freezing after that. So this is the NAM. All right, we'll look at the GFS next. This is a 0Z GFS, though I don't have enough of that in yet. We've got to use the 18Z for this. And you see a similar idea here with the GFS. Brings that above freezing air in. But the 850 is generally where that kind of determines your precip type. And now let's go to the HRRR 0Z run here. Oh, it does the HRRR doesn't offer that. That's the 0Z run. Again, it doesn't seem to offer that. I can go to the 02Z run. And it's still keeping with the similar idea of having the snow mixed with sleet around 1, 2 o'clock, and then kind of end in a dry slot. I don't know if that's what's going to happen. I have my doubts on that. Again, the HRRR seems to be an outlier when the NAM and the GFS and the Euro seem to be indicating that we're going to see significant snowfall from this. Now we go to windy.com. So we're going to use windy.com, and we're going to look at the European model. And I'm going to start with temperature, all right, at the surface, and then we'll work our way up, all right, from there. All right, because, again, this is very important, the temperature, all right? This determines what kind of precipitation you're going to get. This is 5 a.m. Monday, all right? And you can see that already that there's above freezing temperatures on the east end and maybe even on the south shore. We go into 11 a.m., and you see what happens. We stay below freezing here, right? Nassau County, western Suffolk, into central Jersey. We're below freezing. Here's noon, all right? And it moves, maybe that line moves a little bit west. And then as we get into later in the evening, the temperatures jump above freezing. As you can sort of see the center of the storm here. And that's when we could see more of the mixing occurring. I think everybody from New York City on east and south has that chance of mixing and possibly changeover. Euro gets it kind of up there. It's just indication that we'll have to take a look and see what the Euro snowfall totals are, because I didn't look at the Euro yet. But I kind of have my mind made up as to what I think is going to happen with this storm. So this is the temperature. All right, now we're going to go to 850. So let's go to 850. 850. All right, here's 850. All right. We're below freezing now, 6 a.m. Still below freezing. The 850 here. Still below freezing, 9 a.m. Let's go to 2 a.m. 2 p.m. Still below freezing, so I still think a good part of the area is snow. Well, this was 34 over here, but still below freezing. You can sort of see where that line is. All right, we go to 6 p.m. And you can see that warm air kind of try to surge in over the east end, but we're still below freezing in the western parts of Long Island. You can see there what happens out further east, that warm air surging in to the east end there, and that could change it over. I could go even a little higher than this, just to make sure. I'm gonna go a little higher than this. All right, I don't think there'll be too much of a risk of ice, like freezing rain. Well, let's shift gears now. We're gonna look at the wind here. This is the wind at 850. So let me get this back down to the surface. Okay. So here's tomorrow. Here's the wind at noon. All right, this is when things are going to start getting worse. You can see the sustained winds. Worst of it's over the east end and the south shore. North shore, we're not seeing too much wind in the middle of the island and the north shore. And the Jersey shore is seeing some wind too. But the worst of it seems to be over the South Fork there. Northeast wind at 37. These are the sustained winds here. Go to 6 p.m. Similar pattern still exists here with these winds. And again, so these are sustained winds we're looking at here, right? We're not even looking at the gusts. And then as we get after 11, it starts backing off a little bit. But now let's go back to this, and we'll look at the wind gusts, because this is where things get even more interesting here. All right, now for our area, we're going to already see wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour. East end, however, closer to 50. All right, and also closer to 54 in Tom's River there, all right? As we go later into the afternoon, here's 1 p.m. Like I said, I don't think we'll see some wind gusts up to 45 here, but the worst of the wind is solidly over the east end, where you're going to be gusting over 50. And the same thing for the Jersey Shore. Again, there's nothing to stop that wind. It's coming in right off the water, so Jersey Shore is going to get a lot of wind. And then here is 5 p.m. tomorrow, and you can see wind gusts 58. And now this is when all of us are starting to deal with the worst wind. So that late afternoon, early evening hours, we're going to deal with these 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts, or 50, or possibly higher, especially on the east end. There's a 60-mile-an-hour wind gust there in Montauk, and There's Toms River, also still dealing with 57 mile an hour. And then if you go over us, we're still dealing with wind gusts close to 50. This is as of 8 p.m., but it starts backing off a little bit as we get toward 11 p.m. And look at that. You can actually see there's the shape of the storm right there. Very easy to see there. So let's go to the new snow and let's see how much snowfall that the Euro is producing. Go to the new snow parameter here. This is the parameter. This is on the European model now, right? So for Nassau County, it's got 13.5 inches. For central Suffolk, around a foot. And as we go further east, still got 10.2 on the east end. But the highest amounts you'll see in yellow are over parts of New York City, like Staten Island, 19.4. Parts of central Jersey, 20.3 there, and parts of Middlesex County. So these are where the highest amounts are going to be on the European. But then you see that sharp cutoff, all right? You go down to Ocean County, Toms River, 8.8. And then you go even further south into southern Ocean County, like around Stafford, only 4.1. So this is the kind of thing that is indicating that there's going to be a cutoff. You know, it's going to be a cutoff where it'll just go from you start, you know, because of that rain-snow line, wherever that sets up, one side could be pouring heavy rain, and the other side could be heavy snow. So with that said, let's get to my forecast here. I'll put it up on the screen here. So here's what I think is going to happen, all right? And honestly, I think that this area, northern New Jersey, central New Jersey, New York's parts of New York City, I would say, except for southern Queens, and that's about it. But most of New York City and the Hudson Valley and into northern New Jersey and central New Jersey are going to possibly 20 inches or even higher than that. For Queens, Nassau County, most of Nassau County, Fairfield County, Connecticut, Central Jersey, that's Middlesex County, into maybe northern parts of Monmouth, you're going to see 12 to 18 inches. So I still think we're going to have a good bet of seeing at least a foot here in Nassau County. All right. But then as we go east into western Suffolk now, it's more like 7 to 10 inches. Western Suffolk and into Monmouth County and northern Ocean County. All right. 4 to 8 inches, central Suffolk County, east central Suffolk County. And that 4 to 8 would probably Toms River, Ocean County would be in that 4 to 8 range. All right. Then the east end, particularly the South Fork, where there's going to be a lot more mixing going on and a lot, probably just probably they could be raining by 4 o'clock. All right. I would say only 2 to 5 inches over there in the South Fork into, maybe even West Hampton. All right. And then southern Ocean County, coastal Atlantic County, that area right there. And I did put this together at 8 p.m. I haven't changed my mind on any of this, so if I did, I would have to draw up a new one. But right now, this is my thinking. And again, so Long Island, there's going to be variability on Long Island. If you're in Roslyn or Port Washington, I think you could see more like 15 inches of snow. If you're in Islip, maybe closer to 10 inches of snow. Islip or Ronkonkoma. If you're in Riverhead, maybe more like 7 inches of snow. And then as you go further east to, say, Montauk, maybe only 3 inches of snow. Something like that, And if you go west of us, like Manhattan, for instance, Central Park, probably closer to 16 or 15 inches of snow. So that's kind of gives you the idea of what's going to happen. But the areas that I have in the bright purple areas that will never see a changeover, and they won't see any mixing at all, and this is where the highest amounts are going to occur. So somewhere like, say, Paramus could see 20 inches of snow. Bergen County, northern Passaic, Sussex County, Rockland County. These are the areas that are going to get hammered, I think, with this storm. So this is going to be a significant storm. Okay, so what happens after the storm's done? We'll go over it briefly. All right, because we have a lot. We're kind of occupied. I'm kind of occupied with the storm right now. And once it moves away, we start seeing maybe a little bit of sun on Wednesday, and then we watch for our next chance of precipitation, which would be Friday, with some rain perhaps moving into the area. and then another storm, but it looks like rain. This would be Sunday. But it's a ways off, and things can change. And then after that, some cold air moves in. All right, and if we look at our temperatures, you'll see that. So looking at the temperatures here, you'll see, and behind the storm, it stays fairly cold. I mean, we're below normal. Obviously, Tuesday, probably struggling to reach the low 30s. And then Wednesday, we're probably in the mid-30s probably. And then Thursday, mid-30s. So we're a little bit below normal for highs. And then Friday, we see a little, well, no, still is this in the around 40 degrees. And then here comes the next shot of cold air coming toward us. Here's Saturday, low 30s. And then here comes this big Arctic front that's going to come through later Sunday. And this is going to bring in, look at that. This GFS is indicating this next week, and so I want to talk about this. Temperatures into the single digits for Sunday night and Monday morning. And then look at that. Monday morning, we are only in the single digits to around zero, and we're only seeing only the highs in the teens that day. All right, so that's gonna be a much stronger plunge than we're gonna have. Of course, this is the GFS, and this is the long range, but you can see that we're gonna have some more outbreaks of Arctic air. Now that with the snow on the ground, this is probably gonna make it that much colder. So we'll also look at the skies. When will we see the sun again after all this is done? Possibly a little bit of sun on later Wednesday. It looks like more into Thursday that we could have a sunny day. And then, so that would probably be our next chance to have a decent amount of sunshine to at least enjoy the snow. Even though it might be hard to walk around the Pine Barrens depending on how much falls. We'll have to see. But again, we've got this major snowstorm. And the one more thing that we want to do is the Earth Null School. So let's do that. Earth Null School. Let's just go to this here. And the sea surface temperatures. And the reason I have this up again is because to show you the fuel that the storm is going to be using to strengthen. All right. So let's do that. Let's ocean sea surface temperature. This is the sea. Actually, let's go to sea surface temperature anomaly. So again, you have these anomalies just offshore where it's much warmer. The sea surface temperature is much warmer, and in some cases 6 degrees Celsius or 10.8 degrees Fahrenheit above normal, about 80 to 100 miles offshore of Long Island. So this is going to help the storm explode, and it could be an even more intense storm than the models predict. That's always a possibility. You have an additional energy being put in the atmosphere, and thundersnow could certainly be a possibility. We could look at the thunderstorm threat into Monday and see if there's anything here listed for a thunderstorm threat. I could look at Cape. Could look at that too and see. I should look at Ventu Sky too. There's one other thing we got to look. So many different things that we got to look at in this. The other thing, of course, I don't want to forget is the waves as we go into Monday. So these seas are going to be really high offshore, 19 foot. So 20-foot waves off the south shore of Long Island is a good bet for tomorrow with this. And the seas will stay in a heightened state probably until early Tuesday, and then they start slowly receding. Okay, so the next thing, Ventu Sky. Let's look at that. Ventu Sky. Okay, and so Ventu Sky, we're going to look at the not going to be any Cape, but I want to look at the lifted index. So we'll go into Monday. Let's see if there's anything on the lifted index. Let me get this down a little bit here. Because you never know. Sometimes you could have thunder snow with this. It doesn't get picked up by the models. It's hard to predict. But when you have such an intense storm that is going to develop, that could certainly be, if we look at the precipitation here, this is the precipitation simulation here for tomorrow. A number of parameters we could use here. We could use snow cover too. Now, this also uses the HRRR model, I believe. As well, I think it says automatic HRRR. So this is tomorrow. So that's actually one way to look at this. You can see it has the snow cover. By 4 p.m., this is the HRRR, of course. So snow cover is 6.4 inches. As you go to 9 p.m., 6.3. So this is the HRRR, really not wanting to give us a lot of snow. So we'll have to see. I don't agree with the HRRR, but if the HRRR situation verifies, we'll get off easy. But I don't think that's going to happen. All the ingredients are there for a major snowstorm. All the ingredients are there. We've got the cold air. All right, we've got the cold air, we got the storm offshore. We've got all the ingredients necessary for a major snowstorm. So I guess that'll wrap up this video here. So I want to thank you for watching. I'll keep you posted on this storm. And again, we have some light snow going on in the area right now. So let me go to our traffic cameras here and see what we can see what it looks like outside right now before I wrap up this weather update. And this is the other thing too, is the transportation. There are some changes with transportation that I want to talk about as well. So let's see what's going on. We'll look at our area here because we have snow falling already. So this is what it looks like here in Nassau County. You can already see snow on the ground already. It's just light snow right now, but it will get heavier. It will get heavier as time goes on. Let's look at the railroad because the railroad is running tomorrow. Well, they say they're running, but of course with that much snow, they're going to be temporary suspending service of accumulation because it'll get higher than the third rail and they can't run. But they will be operating a weekend schedule tomorrow and Tuesday as well. Now, as far as NJ Transit goes, we can go to MTA info here for the whole MTA here. Let's just do that so you get an idea of what's going to happen. I think we're prepared for upcoming storm. So we'll go here. They'll probably, let's see. How service might change. Let's see. All right, so these are the service changes. Subways, they're going to probably park the trains on the express track. Buses running on a reduced schedule. Excessive ride, you don't even try it. Long Island Railroad trains are running on a weekend service, but service may have to be suspended. And then Metro North is suspending all service early on Monday, February 1st. Because Metro North's area's service territory is probably going to get hit harder than we are. But I really do see a suspension on the railroad, too, as well. All right, as well as that. Nice Bus. Let's do Nice Bus here. Nice Bus also has a storm update. All right, so let's see what they've got here. Storm alert. And they say they're preparing. But they say that they may have to temporarily suspend service as well. And it probably will with those conditions. I really don't see anything running if the conditions are as bad as I expect. If the HRRR verifies, then we may not have to deal with service suspensions. Now, New Jersey Transit also shutting service down for the entire day on Monday because of they do have regular weekday service, will operate on the Atlantic City rail line. So they know that the southeastern corner of the state will probably see less snow and they'll be able to maintain service. And at least on the Atlantic City rail line, but as far as bus service goes, I don't think so. Right now. All right. That's that. Now we go to Suffolk County Transit. And no bus service on tomorrow, so they're also suspending service as well. So, again, I would expect NICE to suspend service, and it's just not a good idea to be going out tomorrow. Again, it's just these conditions are just going to be impossible to travel in. So don't even think about it, unless you live in the southeast little sliver of New Jersey here, and maybe in the Hamptons. You're not going to be going anywhere. Maybe. I say maybe, all right, in this area, especially the Hamptons. I think you have a better bet in the Atlantic City area, Southern Ocean, to be able to maintain travel. But for the rest of us, don't even try it. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. I'll keep you posted on the storm, and take it easy.